What's going on, y'all? It's Greg with Greg Said It. Coming to you from hot Atlanta. It's summertime, it's cooking, and boy, football season has to be right around the corner. I mean, it's becoming more and more football like it's hot, and we just hit July, and man, I can wait for that thing, but man, I'm looking forward to some things. And let me tell you why. I probably should name this video something different, but I'm not. But if I would name it How I Really Feel About North Dakota State. I've never seen I don't know what, I'll call it a gimme game. No game is a gimme game. It's upsets every year. But I've never seen such a unbalanced game get so much weight. It's really just disrespect to Colorado, more so than respect for North Dakota. North Dakota's coming in as a week one game. It could be considered a cupcake game for most people. Colorado didn't have that last year. They went to TCU, who was supposed to beat them by 21, and they beat them. And they went on a run for the first few games. And honestly, we expect them the same this year. But when you look at the arrogance, it's really the nerve that you're giving North Dakota State at this point. They're making videos, people say they're mocking, whether they're doing it or not, they real comfortable. They really comfortable, as if they're coming to face their equal. When I looked at that video, I pointed out a few things. I saw the quarterback, maybe some of the seniors are key players. And I saw the linemen. Of course they didn't have pads on. But I saw the build. That's not the build of a Power 5 team. That's not the build of FBSR. That's the build of Division 2, maybe some Division 1, like we see Division 1, what they call FCS now. Back in my day, like I said, we used to call it Division 1 AA. You're not coming into Georgia beating them. They have their own little thing. They was the ones in the playoff back in the day. And a lot of these guys are now technically FBS, but not North Dakota State. They decided to stay in that little ranking, the little college championship playoff type thing. And they've been doing their thing. But they're not Colorado's equal, guys, by far. And just simply looking at those athletes, if you didn't know before then, maybe you just don't know Colorado players. When you look at the body type, when you look at the skill set, when you look at the quality of player, it's really disrespectful and misleading for you to make it look like it's going to be that type of matchup. Now, I expect them to have a few guys that can do the things just like anywhere else, but they just don't match up well against Colorado. And it's almost like the chitter chatter. And yes, football, everybody's supposed to feel they can win. Nobody's supposed to go out there and say, I'm finna get my butt whooped. Nobody's supposed to say that. But it's almost like they feel like they actually can beat Colorado. And everybody's throwing around what the other teams half a decade ago did, as if it applies to these guys, as if it's the same quality. But hey, they did it back then, you can do it too. You're not them. You're not them by a long shot. You don't have a quarterback. I doubt your quarterback gets anywhere near the league. All the teams that you're pointing out who did it in that window of time, all their quarterbacks were top-ranking quarterbacks in the country, and they were drafted high. So when you're talking about what another team did to amp up this team and to minimize Colorado, demean them, it's really weird. But it makes sense because it's Colorado. You don't respect them. I just saw a poll with the Big 12, which I said before, but I thought it may have changed. Big 12 pretty much have Colorado ranked like 11th in the conference out of it's not 12 teams. I'm going to call it Big 12, but it used to be Big 12. It's like 15, 16 teams, if I'm not mistaken. It's at least 5 other teams behind Colorado, if not 4. And what's weird is they have Shador as a preseason all conference, which I would think they wouldn't be that dumb to not put their premier quarterback. Everybody else premier quarterback, they're going to respect. This is your premier quarterback. First team. Over all other quarterbacks. Nobody else on the thing on it. No other receiver on there with them. But first, so I don't know. Maybe he can be throwing at ghosts, because if you're going to be a preseason all conference, you can't do it without putting up numbers. So that means somebody else going to have to be putting up the numbers, which means somebody else should be on that list, either in that backfield, definitely in the receiver. When you look at the fact that everyone expects Colorado to have a great passing game. And even some rankings have shown respect to Colorado's offense. Yet, most other teams got, especially their top teams, they had a couple guys on there. A couple guys from Oregon State, that's the pattern. A couple guys from Oregon State, a couple guys from Utah, a couple guys from Kansas. Colorado on the offensive side, only one player, but he's the top quarterback. Again, I don't know how you're the top quarterback if you don't have nobody to get the ball to. Defensive side, Travis Hunter was on there and BJ Green. So that's two guys. Travis Hunter, DB, BJ Green, come out the line. So it's like, with all of that, you still rank these guys. Not even talking about who you overlook, or could have been on the list, or maybe on your, like we said, we've seen second and third teams, stuff like that. These guys are ranked 11th. And, just what does that have to do with this? This is how you make it as if North Dakota has a shot. Because North Dakota could have a shot against a lower performer in the conference. They can probably run up on a Baylor. We expect they were about Cincinnati. That's who they usually run up on, especially early in the season. You can say that they can run up on somebody like that. But so you're putting Colorado in that category of a basically 500 team, if that. You have Iowa State over them. You have West Virginia over them. You got UCL. You got all these teams over them. You even had TCU over them. And they whooped TCU last year. And you got TCU in 10th. And it's like, what is really good? It's going to be an embarrassing year. And people going to go to jumping ship. They're going to go moving the goalposts. Because you got to be pretty ignorant to put Colorado that far off base. Like, you putting them way down there, you're not giving yourself any room to recover from that foolishness. Their defense is going to be a lot more stout. The offense is going to be explosive as expected and some. How dare you put them at the bottom tier of a Big 12 conference, with their quarterback being the number one quarterback in the conference? That's what you say. Two guys on the defensive side of the ball able to make first team. Yet. Because, when I look at, let's just be real, when we look at the other teams who surround Colorado at that bottom, we didn't see any of their guys on the list. It's like you're contradicting yourself. You didn't see any of their guys on the list. You didn't see TCU with guys on the list. You didn't see Baylor with guys on the list. You didn't see Cincinnati with guys on the list. You didn't see them kind of teams with guys on the list. Texas Tech, I think it was even over them. You didn't see Texas Tech guys on these lists. But Colorado can have all these guys on the list and still be below all these guys. People got to make their mind up. And this North Dakota State game is going to tell it all. Because people playing what they sell. I looked at them boys come out the locker room looking like, somebody said they looked like, what was that? It looked like a scene off, a cut scene off of All-American. But it's like, them guys, they ain't built the same. I know their depth ain't the same. I know they don't have a quarterback nowhere near Shador. Even the conference recognizing that. Yet, Colorado only supposed to beat them by 3 or, or possibly get upset. they lower the bar so much for Colorado. And only thing they're going to do is lower that bar low enough to trip up the other teams. Because I doubt Colorado going to shrink down this year. The disrespect is actually good for them. Because it's going to come a point where they're going to be feared. And so the less they got to deal with having to deal with the big head or being the overdog, the better. So keep talking about them, because we know once that season start, all that weakness gonna go, and lies gonna go become the true lies they are. They gonna say they never said it. Where you get that from? Because all off season last year they did the same thing. Nobody said they were there because they switched it up when the season got started. They switched it up, said Colorado can beat them, and that's what's gonna happen this year. So all the people who talking crazy, especially about this North Dakota State, keep that same energy, and we're gonna do our best to keep receipts. You tell we're gonna know very quickly. Trust me. I'm just Greg. Greg said it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and I'll be talking to y'all soon.